Hello everyone, just getting into Facebook so I can see your comments and getting the YouTube stuff set up as well. Woo. Okay, here we go. So in that one, but yes, okay, just doing my paperwork side of things so everyone can find it. There we go. Right. Oh, there we are. We are now live. Woo! Hello everyone. We are in for another mixed media class this week and it should be fantastic. We're not in our journal this week. We're doing an out of the book project. Hello Pam. And we're going to do a scrapbook page. And we're going to do it with our new glasses stamp, but I don't know if I'm going to use it as like a pair of glasses. I think I'm going to actually use it in a different way. We've got Hello Diane D with our happy birthday stencil and some of the tissue paper that you guys get from the parcels that we send you all. And we've got a border strip because why not? And a sweetness word as well, which is also very new and has not been released yet. So I'm thinking, because we're doing hello Diane B, because we're doing a scrapbook page tonight, there will be mixed media elements to it, obviously. I'm just wondering, how many photos do you guys wish to have on here? Like, we could do lots of photos, or we could do minimal photos. It's really up to you. What do you think? Like, I was thinking either we could do probably 4 photos and then try and actually have our mixed media layered above it. Normally we do it on the background and then our photo sits on top, but I want to try and have it like layered around it and then so then it goes in it. Or you think 2, Pam? Oh, 2 might be nice too. We do need some black paper and for our fakey photos and a trimmer. I've got the trimmer, but Millie, could you get me some black paper, please? It's over there behind Dad. Oh, hold up. Dad might be able to do it because it doesn't require him to do too much back bending. Now I say that, he had to get up. Oh, hello, Sandra. Dad has officially put his back out again. It's having a ball all the time. So yeah. He's a bit slower than usual, which is why we're still waiting for the black paper. And there it is. Thank you. We got the black paper. It's always interesting.
Don't ask again.
Don't ask again. Obviously, it took a lot of effort to get that black paper. Right, so what size photos are we thinking of? Because we're going to do 2 now. I reckon if we go 4x6, we might get a fair amount of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut... Ooh, hold up, my map's gone out of my... There we go. So we're going to cut this to 6 inches. Like so. Here we go. Yeah. And then we're going to cut this to 4. So we cut the bigger measurement first. Because we have to do less cutting overall. Yeah, poor Dad. He does this about once a year. That's why I'm not really empathetic. Also, just a heads up, this is also on YouTube. So then if your Facebook's not working, you can head over to YouTube. And if YouTube's not working, you can head over to Facebook. So let's get this bit here dealt with now. Fakey photo 4x6. And I'm just using the pastel pens on this just because they show up really good on our black cardstock. You can see my pen doesn't work all the way through a heap of strokes just because I got paint in it. Yep. Would you believe? And we only need an A4 size of this. So I'm just going to cut this down manually with a pair of snippers. When I find my scissors. They went in there. Oh, here's one pair of them. It's not my very good pair though. It's okay, we're only using it for this bit. As most of you would know, plastic cutting is not my forte. So we're going to go for about an A4 piece of this. Just because I think it will look nice. So, got A4? Yep. Your piece in your bundle will look a lot nicer if you choose to buy the bundle. If not, you can use the tissue paper that you guys get sent from our store and all your orders. We wrap them in it just so then everything stays together. It looks really nice for you ladies then. Right, so there we go. I think currently we're using purple tissue. I just have pink in my scrap from one of my orders that I did while I was in Brisbane. So yeah. Right, let's remove the trimmer because we do not have enough room for the trimmer. Oh, hello, Dudley. Right, so we've got this here. These are our elements. And like I said, normally we do it just all on the back of the mixed media, which is cool because we can do the layering and all the rest of it. We can do our usual, well, we sit collage down and we put a bit of paint over it. We do a stamp and some doodling, which I basically gave you the recipe to everything I've ever done in my life, nearly. But today I want to try and instead build it so then it goes up and around our page. So I'm just going to, around our photos, so we can get more of a frame on them. So we've got our border, and you'll notice with our border strips, they're only 11.5 inches. That just means they fit in the packet better, A. And B, it also gives you a bit of breathing room on either end, especially when you stick it in your album. So that's going to be like our overall layout of our page before we add in all of our stuffs. So I'm going to come and do is I actually think if we come in and we trace around our party hats and candles and bow, and we use them more of a template, and then we cut around them and we can stick them going in and out like confetti type things. And then we can stick some on chippy strips, and then we can even do we can like put something coming up and around and out of our border as well, like a bit of ripped bits coming out of our border and a bit of rip coming out from over here. I think will look really cool with the two different color pinks. So we're just going to come in and we're going to go over to the non-flat side, because if we're going to do rips that go along straight edges, it's best to keep that straight edge we've got. Yours should have 4 straight edges, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem for you. Just a problem for me, because that's the way I've cut mine up. And I'm trying to find my pencil, and I cleaned up really quickly, trying to prove my dad wrong this afternoon, and now I cannot find where I put my pencil. And no, I'm not admitting to the fact that I should have spent more time on cleaning up, because that would be admitting that I was wrong. I found one. No, it's a black. I want lead. 1 minute.
What did you
want a lead.
A lead pencil.
Would you like a pacer pencil?
Yes, please. Can also have Mum's fussy cutting scissors, because my good scissors have gone AWOL.
I've got scissors.
It's all good. Oh, thank you, Dee. Alright, so let's get started, shall we? So we're just going to come in I don't know how good these things are going to look cut out because, yeah. You never know. Right, so we're just going to come in. Sorry, my head's in the way. I'm going to trace along the edge. I would lift this up to show you what I'm doing, but I'm doing it on tissue paper. So as is, it's already a little bit, like I'm going to poke in holes for it when it's not flat. Okay. And these candles might be interesting. Okay, and then I think if we draw this twice on this dark pink one, so that's one, so you can kind of see where that's drawn. I'm going to come and draw it again. So then we get 2 lots of it, and then we'll draw it once on our light pink. Just then we get that mixture. Okay. It's got 2 drawn on there. And we need 1 on our bright pink. Right. There we go. And then there is our other one on our light pink. You can see that one a bit better. Okay. Now what we're going to come and do is before we stick those down, I put my palette in the freezer again because, you know, I had wet paint on it the other day. Super smart because now I don't have anything to work with. Right. I'm going to come and stamp some of these glasses out. So I reckon if we use dark pink on the light and we use white on the dark pink, it'll look really cool. So, you know, opposites, just making sure we're not going to do it in the same spot that we've traced. Just come in with just a little bit of white paint on our stamp.
Can you make Millie's vanilla cone?
Oh, and yours, yes.
Well, I could have a mixture of both.
Yes, Noah's version of cone ice cream, by the way, is one very small bowl.
Overloaded.
Overloaded with
My cone broke.
about the same size that you'd get with maybe a salad bowl's worth of ice cream.
It was only a small bowl.
But it was only a small bowl, so it was squished in there.
Downsizing.
But the first time he did try to serve himself ice cream, last night, he said it was soft, but the spoon bent while he was trying to scoop the ice cream out. So yeah, the ice cream was definitely soft, like 100% soft. Yes, that's where we were at last night. Way to go, Noah. Even he can't capture a video at the moment. Internet's pretty trouble. Oh no, Karis. You have a good night then. Yeah, Noah is the king. We're just going to put a few of these with white on the background. I know I said we want to do some, but it's hard to break habits. It's hard. I'm only going to do a few. Right, there we go. So yeah. No one was living his whole life last night. Like, don't get me wrong. Right, so we're just going to do these in the corner there, one or two over here, and then a few up here. Because, you know, once you do it in one spot, you got to do it in multiple. Because of freeze. Threes. I am reapplying them after every so often. But after 3 stamps, I apply some more white paint or gesso. I did use gesso on the tissue just because it's a bit thicker and it's guaranteed to keep its opaqueness to it when it stamps on it. Sometimes white paint might pick up the color of the tissue paper depending on what tissue paper. So yeah, just to avoid that, because I did really want like a clean stamp done, I used gesso. Yeah, that's me. Right, so I think we're done with the white for the moment. So I'm just going to put the lid on that one. I am also wearing my Barbie t-shirt, so we are in a pink mood. My Barbie t-shirt should be more likely classified as a nightie. It is very long. Like, very long. Okay, here we go. So pink on it. And we do already have white on the stamp, so they might be a little bit lighter than the actual pink.
You know.
Okay. And then there we are. So for those, and just to clean our stamp in this one here, because it's so hollow of a design, it's probably best to wash it realistically after use, especially if you're using paint with it. I will be washing mine after class. I'm just getting the majority of the excess off and on my fingers. Right, there we go. Let's put the lid on that one. Let's see, so we've got those ones there. Woo! Let's move that one over that way. And then let's do some cutting out. So I'm just going to cut my white glasses sleeve to one side. And then cut around this bit. So I don't know what I'm working with. That's the excess that I've got to work with for my rippies. So I did draw the lead pencil on the non-shiny side of my rice paper. Of my tissue paper. And this just helped being able to see a bit more clearly. See? One by bow. Okay, and then There's that one. Let's cut out a candle now. I am just doing a little bit of editing around the candle just to make the wick a little bit thicker. And the flame just a little bit bigger proportionally to how thicker the wick's going to be. And this is just so that it's not so fragile when we cut it out. As you can see there, that's a candle. Candle 1! Yay! Look, they work. It works. It's amazing. I'm going to try and do this so that you guys can see it in the center. I do find it easier when it's closer to me, just because, you know, the wand. But, yeah. Look. Okay, and then there we go. Next one. Oh dear, I've done a fair amount of editing on this smaller candle. Alright, here we go. Trying to get these to be a bit more poofy at the top, so I'm just gonna cut and do some zigzags by moving the paper and not the scissors. Makes it a bit easier. Ooh. Basically straight there, and then a party hat done. Look at that. Nearly done one set. Woo! This should be worth it. The other option is if you don't want to use your lead pencil, you can just stencil on the design to a piece of white paper with whatever color you wish. And then cut it out. It might be a bit easier to see than the lead pencil on the tissue. It just depends on what type of effect you want and how, like the tissue paper is still very likely to rip when we glue it down. So that's just what we're going to be careful of. So yeah, it just depends on how comfortable you are with using tissue and if you're okay if some things will rip. Bit of a fun time there. It is what it is. Okay, and there's the next big candle. Let's go. We are definitely using all of these things now. Spending the time to cut them. We are definitely using them. Right. And then cut in, being careful not to get paint on Mum's good fussy cut scissors. She will not thank me for that. Okay. Okay. And there we go. Last but not least, last glasses, and then we're up to the light pink. Goodness me, you guys did not come here to watch me fussy cut all day. There we go. Right. Got a bit of paint on them by accident. Right, so we're just going to come in and cut these ones off. I'm just going to come in, cut this bit off, so then we know what we've got to work with again. And let's do the next one. And last but not least, okay, you can see the lead pencil on those. Ah, that's fun. Okay, and then and now we have one last one of our candles. Okay, and then let's come in and cut out our glasses. Check becoming a part of our confetti. Oh, making sure we don't cut one of the lenses by accident. That would not be good. Okay, and then last two. Oh my gosh, we're nearly done cutting. Thank Christ. Okay, here we go. And one more bit. And we're done. Oh, never thought we were going to get through that. Okay. Move all of our confetti bits up to there. There we go. Okay, so let's do our page up. So we've got this bit here. Let's lay out our bits of confetti now. So they don't have to be perfect. Or even aligned. To make them seem birthday. Put that one there. There. And then piece there. And Amelia's hiding in plain sight from avoiding bed. And then we're going put that piece here. I am determined to use them all. I have cut each one of them out. We will be using them. Okay, and then just grab our paintbrush real quick. Our round tipped paintbrush. Wherever did it go? Oh, up here. Oh. Just ground it around tip paintbrush and drag it along the edge here. Bit up. And then do the same so that it's ripped along the other side as well. And then bring that one up and make it so that it's a bit layered by it being overlapped there. More like tulle. I'm going to get a second piece and we're overlapping it and having 10 bits of it like that. So then when we have to come in and add the extra bit to get the full length of our 12x12 page, it doesn't look awkward or weird. It just looks natural. Sweetness there. Now we come in and we're just going to lightly paint over with some watercolor on the bits where we stamped those goggles down and paint our title. I think white or a light or a pink, like a light pinky color. And then I'm considering this border to be, we could keep it white. Have it. Can we get it? Where's the pencil gone? Just come in. We mark with the pace where that went. Take a bit of a snapshot on our brain of how that looks. Grab up all of our elements. We do have to paint this a colour. I know that. Much. We're not going to paint our bubble border now. Right. Put that one over there. Grab our ruler. Our pacer. Yes, this ruler has more paint on it now than what it does ruler. And then it's not particularly straight, but that's okay. We get the point of where it needs to go. Move that one out of the way. Make sure we're set on the right setting. Yes. Alright. Preemptively spray along the line. Get a bigger paintbrush. This ain't gonna work with that size paintbrush. We want to use our dark pink. We're using one color tonight. And black and white. So we're just coming in along with our watercolor pink. Adding him in. Okay, and then we're just going to let it drip sideways along our page. We're doing that by lifting it up, but at the same time by dragging a wet flat tip paintbrush downwards along it. Continue that the whole way through. And if you want it to be darker, you just come in, you add it at particular points, point the paintbrush, and then it goes downwards. So come in like this and just make sure it goes downwards. Remembering that you're not going to see all these strips because we've got 2 photos going on there. Definitely want it just a little bit more darker on this edge of the line. That's not only to cover up our lead pencil, but also just to help us create a little bit more contrast. So I'll show you what it looks like in a minute. So without getting our border piece pink. See? Comes out from it. I think that's pretty cool. Okay, so we're just going to lift that one back up here. And then while we wait for that bit there to dry, we're going to come in with our black. Watercolor, and we're just going to go over our goggled area pretty wetly. This is just going to create a bit of resistance. My black watercolor is not 100% black, but that's okay. You could use black paint if you want it to be like really jet black, but I do want mine to be more watercolory just to match what we've got going on here. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're just going to grab our stamp real quick with the wet black watercolor. We're just going to come in and rub it around our stamp. Stamp it in just a few spots. Putting some more contrast points in there. Okay. There we go. I do like that. I think it looks pretty cool. And then, yeah. So let's just come in now with our heat tool and dry it. Okay, so we dried that just a little bit then. So what we're going to do now is, I just found my scissors, they're on the floor. I'm going to come in and paint our sweetness word. Now we've got the pink there. I definitely think white would be the way to go. So we're just going to grab our white paint / gesso. I can't believe you fussy cut all those pieces. I know. Neither can I, Daiji. Normally I give up about the second one, but I had spent all the time tracing them and I was like, this is going to look okay, so we'll continue. But you know, I cannot believe that I spent time fussy cutting on a video. Hello, Caranel, by the way. It's, should mark it down, because it's probably not going to happen for a long time.
Okay. Amelia, let's go clean your teeth.
So we're just coming in now and painting our title cut. We are officially out of jumper weather here.
It's cool this morning.
Well, it's cool this morning, but I'm labeling it as out of jumper weather up here. I'm going to say no more jumpers. I want to swim in the 50-meter pool. Actually, I'm dying to swim in the 50-meter pool here. I am, yep, looking forward to it. Like there is no tomorrow. Honest to goodness, I'm ready for it to be warm enough. There we go. Well, thanks, Pam. Yeah, we're just coming in. I like it to be whiter. So there's the thing. I've gone for a bit more of a motley look to it, so it's got a bit of texture to the paint, which definitely, I think it gives it a bit more body, and it will when we have all the layers on it, on the page together, as we don't want it to get lost. Right, so we need the page to dry for a few more minutes, because we've still got a few gumpy wet areas. So I'm just going to put that there and that one there. I'm going to grab some chippy strips and some tape. So, along with our usual tools of trippy strip and tape, we are also going to add in some matte medium / gel medium. When I get the lid off. There we are. I have to fix that lid. It's a constant reminder thingy. Right, here we go. Night, Robin. See you in the morning. Right, there we go. Woo! Now we've got those bits and pieces done. Looks pretty good. We're going to come and stick down our photos first because they're at the base of this page. And then we're going to stick everything else down. Oh, look at that. Look at that, look at that, look at that. And we're sticking them roughly just off center. There we go. And now our first step will be is to stick this piece down here with our 2 pieces of pink. So what we're going to come and do is we're actually going to grab our gel medium and rub it down this pencil line and just a little bit over it because that's the bit that we want to cover. We want to cover the pencil line with this bit of tulle now. Well, tissue paper that we're going to make look like tulle. Now our watercolor is still wet here, so we're moving it just a little bit when we're doing that, which means if you're at home and you've got the time, which you should, leave this to dry overnight and then come back and do it. You can convert this into a card as well, or you could do it on a canvas or in your art journal. It's up to you guys. We're just we did a Zoom a couple of months ago now, I think, and it was talking about what you lovely ladies would like to see in our class, and we spoke about how you'd like to see how to use the mixed media techniques on scrapbook pages. So this is in like cards and in different methods and forms. So we have adapted a little bit so then you guys can see that. Well, I've adapted a little bit. So we do about 1 to 2 classes in our art journal, and then we'll come and do an alpha project. I think last time was a card, if I'm not mistaken. And we went out of the journal. So you're just really getting all the bits and pieces in there, being careful not to get globbies on this. It's okay, they'll dry clear, but you know, you guys only see when it's wet, so it's kind of important you see it, look at its best. We come in, stick our piece down. Oh, look how good that looks. Okay, and then where our sweetness is going to go, we're just going to stick one of our bows. Actually, let's stick one of our hats there. One of our hats. Oh, this is the difficult part. Over that there. And this just guarantees us that when we stick it down here, you'll be able to see the full title. If I do it correctly. So we're just coming in, and we might actually scrape because it's a very thin chippy cut, this one. There we go. So we've got him stuck down. So there's the sweetness all stuck. And now let's just get most of the glue off our hands. Come and lay out our other bits and pieces. Okay, I'm just laying out the ones that I kind of want flat, and then I'll put on the ones that I want to be more standout-ish on foam or on chippy strips. Okay. And that leaves me with a few bits and pieces that I can chippy strip. So let's come and stick these ones here down. And then we'll come and chippy strip the other ones that we want. So we've got just a few, about 4 to 5 up there. Actually, it's about 9 that we've got up there, and that'll give us a good amount that we can give some height to, especially around the photos, because remember, we're aiming to frame our photos. Now, with this, if you are using gel medium instead of like glossy accents or dimensional magic or 3D crystals accents, or even another glue, less is best when it comes to tissue paper. So just remember that when you're sticking it down. Okay. You could use paint. I used a lead pencil, but you could use paint. For that, I suggest either when you do a palette knife, don't move it for at least 2 hours after doing it, and put a piece of glad bag underneath so it doesn't get stuck to whatever surface you're working on. Or if you are doing or if you're doing it with a sponge, same thing, piece of glad bag underneath because it's not very thick paper, and maybe don't move it for about 30 minutes. Oh, we can try that in one of our classes, Daji, if you would like. We can try that next week, actually. We'll put that on the list for next week. Tissue paper with paint. or stenciling on tissue paper. Yeah, we'll do that next week. It is a good skill to learn. It is a bit difficult because, like I said, it does go a little bit through. The first time I did it, I didn't put any glide back down, and I tried moving it immediately afterwards, and let's just say it didn't work. Short story, it didn't work. So yeah, there are just a few things you have to do when using paint with tissue paper. So now let's grab out the bits that we can now chippy strip up that I've managed to save. So we've got these hats here. Now I just thought of this. The only problem with chippy stripping it would be that you would be able to see it. The other option is that we can modeling paste it up. It might seep through. This is going to be a bit of a experiment. Just because I don't really want to see the chippy strips. Like, don't get me wrong, seeing like this bit here, seeing the border underneath that bit of tissue, that's cool. That's really cool, don't get me wrong, but I don't really want to see the chippy strips under the bits that I want to raise. So instead, if I get my modeling paste, this could either go really bad or really wrong. Okay, wrong across the fingers. Let me just put a little bit on the back. But enough still to get a raise, but just not an extreme amount. Spread it out so we get a complete raise. That ain't too bad. Don't think it's too bad. Let's try another one. Yeah, I could scrunch up some tissue paper underneath them. Seems a bit convoluted. I might try that though. We're not getting much of a raise out of this. That's because we're having to spread it. Maybe we do try the tissue paper technique. Let's try. We've got some scraps here. Let's get a bow. I'm going to raise this one here. So we come in, and the only thing that's going to hold up scrunched tissue paper, or lots of it. So we put a dab of modeling paste on the page. Put our scrunched tissue paper on top. And then we put a little bit of gel medium on the tip of our finger, then on the back of our bow, and then we go in and scrunch it underneath. Like, it makes it interesting. What do you guys think? It's definitely raised. More raised than the goggles we did over there. Okay, we can try it again. I like how I came up with a plan, but then it came up with a way to execute it quite well. Let's see if we can get the candle to raise without the scrunch paper. We might be doing the scrunch paper again though. design feature. Definitely. Alright, let's try this again, shall we? Let's try it with the goggles. I'm going to stick the goggles here. Not enough modeling paste there. Okay, modeling paste it down into place. It doesn't help that I've got glue on my hands. Okay, right, and then let's come and get some glue.
Yeah, my knee hurts.
Oh. You've added to the pain. Go, Dad. I don't think that's what you're supposed to do.
No, I don't think so.
I've got one goggle raised, the other one's flat. One lens raised. I think that's pretty cool, actually.
I love the pink.
Oh, thank you.
Matches your Barbie shirt.
I know, we're going for a bit of a pink mood right now, would you believe?
Never have guessed.
Well, our real aim was blue, but then we thought, what about some pink?
Alright.
I think he's going to believe us. It's questionable. He is bad. Then again, he ain't gullible. Just coming in and sticking down some of the other bits and pieces. We'll try out one more scrunch one on a candle. I do like it. I just think it's a bit finicky. I'm going to have to play with it a bit more. Also, if you've got time, you can like get it in there and let it dry and then put the tissue paper on top, which I think would be better if you did the modeling paste and then put the scrunch bit on top of it and then let it dry. And then go in and stick on your top piece. That might be a little bit better, ultimately speaking. Okay, and then let's come in, stick down those here. Grab our bit of gel medium. Oh, Jesus. Yep, glue on glue. No problem whatsoever. Come on, come on. There we are. I'm just going to come around with some of the modeling paste now. And just scrape it in a few spots. And then stick the lid back on that one because we're done with the glue. I'll lift it up to show you it. I do think it needs some doodling. Just because, why not? we've got that raised bit there. And there's our raised candle. And then our one raised island. So I do think that looks quite nice. You can tell the difference from the ones that are modelling paste on and gel medium on. So there are like clear differences, which I do think adds to it a little bit. And then let's grab out our pen. There is our black pen. This is why I don't clean up. Can I never find anything? I can find my gold pen, but we haven't added any gold, so it's going to look really odd. Right, no, we're just going to have to borrow Mum's real quick. We're going to borrow Mum's twin marker, the find end. Not get it in any paint. Just come in, and I do think if we do a bit of circle around the edge, and then I just realized you really can't see that down there. I'm going to lift it up to show you. As you can see, some circles. Just being careful not to do it with this paint. Any glue. And trying to join the circles up as much as possible. Last but not least, right. And then just lift it. And as you can see, there's a few dots. I do think it adds to it and finishes it off. Oh, thank you, Dee. So that's our mixed media class for tonight. Something a bit different on how to use our stencils as templates. Instead of just using them with paint next week, we're going to do paint with tissue paper. We'll choose 2 different other colors of tissue paper probably. But this week, yeah, it was just about how to use our stencils as templates and how to raise tissue paper, which I didn't think would be that difficult, but I have since learnt on a live class like no other, which is, you know, how we do it. But yeah, so thank you all for coming, and I hope you had a great class, and we'll see you all during the week. We are back tomorrow at 9:30 AM in our subscription class group, September group, for card making with Mum, and then on Wednesday at 7 PM, and then on Friday back in open Facebook with a with our Friday night live. So thank you all for coming. Oh, and if any of you install ladies are thinking of it, I think we have our Super Saturday this weekend.
Yeah, I think it's this weekend.
I think it's this weekend. I'm pretty sure it is. So yeah, if any of you ladies in town are looking to do something scrappy or crafty this weekend, we have our Super Saturday. So thank you all for coming, and have a wonderful night and a brilliant week. Bye.